All right, hello, you all. Come in. Hit that like, hit the share button. Make sure you are subscribed to me on YouTube, Queen 11 E double one EVEN. Queen 11, take time, hit that subscribe button. Let me know what part of the world you are tuning in from. Drop your city, your state, or your country. Let me know where you are tuning in from. So, if you've been following me, you know that since my birthday, September 26th, I've been hoarse and dealing with vocal problems and tonsillitis and all that good stuff. So my voice is much better, but I have not been live streaming as much. As a result, there are many people who have been reaching out to me via text. I'm very big on following instructions, right? If I tell you I'm hoarse and I cannot talk and I ask you to text and you call, then hey, you didn't follow instructions. And so your phone call will not be answered or returned. So when I ask you to text and when I ask you to text during business hours, follow those instructions, business hours on Monday through Friday, not the weekends, right? Weekends for me is spending time with family, it's recreation time. And it's my spiritual time. It's my spiritual time. You know, as my shirt says, I am not bossy. I'm not bossy, but I am the queen. So, let's follow instructions when you want to work with people. Work with people the way they tell you to work with them if you want the results. So, or if you want the help or assistance, rather, right? So I've been receiving this text as a result of I'm not having my full vocal range, and I'm still probably at about 85%. It's still stress on me to talk. So I am going to attempt to do this live stream in exactly under 20 minutes. People asking me or texting me, asking me via text about summons that they are receiving from either debt collectors like LNV, right? LNV, Midland Funding, or the original creditors like Navy Federal, Discover, American Express. So for the first time, I decided to go live and share my experience over the years of winning these lawsuits, dealing with the summons, and I have receipts, I have proof, right? And this is why I decided that this is a time and season, being that we are about to experience a wealth transfer, a transfer of wealth. We're about to change our monetary system. This is a global change. And many people think that this is going to be like the biblical year of Jubilee, where your debt, because we're changing to a new technology system, money will not be antiquated money like paper money, right? Paper, debt notes, cash anymore. Everything will be digital. And people think that their debt is going to disappear. No, it's just going to transfer to a new system. Now more than ever, we have bank closures at a record high. We have branches closing, and they are getting ready for more online banking. Jobs are going to be replaced by AI, artificial intelligence. Jobs that you used to see, they won't be here. They won't exist anymore. And we're moving from what's called centralized financing, where you need the banks, right, to go to the banks and the third party, and also your federal institution to print the paper cash, from centralized to what's called decentralized, where you won't need a third party. You can bypass the banks right now, and you can do things peer-to-peer or person-to-person. And that's called decentralized technology, where all of the transactions are kept on the blockchain. However, your old debt is just not going to vamp and go away in the process. In fact, the Bible states that people perish due to lack of knowledge. Now, I'm going to hold up. Let's see, which one do I want to start with? I guess start first with I start with Navy Federal first. Navy Federal was my most recent one. And I have already attempted to black out my address so it's not showing. This is the time that I did not want to see the numbers 111, right? I was in a situation, many of you all know, this is my name. I went through a divorce, right? There it is. It was 2 accounts. And so you see the 25,471.62. There we are, Latanya DeLoach. Total debt at that time, just credit cards, was the 111, not the way I want to see 111, $111,628.25. So Navy Federal sold this to a debt collector first, initially. Weltman, Wyman, and Reese out of Cleveland, Ohio. So I know you're probably asking, well, how did you get the 50,143? It was 2 accounts, right? 2 accounts. Now, this is the second account, 24,672. I'm just trying to make sure. Hold up. I think I had that, my address showing on there. And that's why I don't like to show my personal paperwork, because I might miss my address or some personal information. But 24,000, right? $672. It was a total different account. I went through a divorce in 2018, and so I was definitely a victim of misfiles, identity theft, missed credit cards debt. I am definitely the queen of credit. I believe credit cards are my business partners. And so I was definitely, or am, or was an easy target for credit cards at this address in the midst of my divorce to be used and switched over by my ex or anyone in my household, right? And that's exactly what happened. So when you have as many credit cards as I do, right? Let me make sure I'm showing one without the account number on the front. Then you are an easy target, right? Okay, rearrange these. Easy target. Divorce for me was not easy. Very mental, physical, stress. A lot of back and forth. We had assets. It was not easy, right? And so in the midst of dealing with that, it's my business partners. My credit cards accounts was the used, abused, and misused. So I've had as high as an 825 credit score. The highest you can get is an 850. And then in 2022, all the way to 537. So I know what it is to be so high that you can be approved for everything, and you can have 0% interest rates for up to the year, and you're living that great credit lifestyle. And I'm using my credit cards to get assets. Why use debit cards when you can use credit, right? Get rewards for things that you're going to do anyway, for travel discount. You build up reward points, airplane miles. So like, why even use debit cards? And it's easier with credit cards to dispute anything that you have that could be fraudulent, right? Than it is with a debit card. So much easier to get your money back. So now I find myself in situations where Navy Federal said, okay, we're going to purchase this debt back from a debt collector, because I knew the debt collector laws. I knew that many debt collectors are illegally collecting debt, illegally summons. And so that was nothing for me to fight that debt collector because that those accounts were not mine. However, now it comes to when you get this summons in the mail, and that's a whole different thing. Black out the case number, and now it's back to the original creditor for me in this particular case, with Navy Federal. Now you can get summons for debt collectors, right? You can get summons for debt collectors, but for me, that's like no problem. Most debt collectors are illegal. I know most of the Fair Credit, Fair Debt Collections Practices Act. Now you get this symbol. Now it's a whole different ballgame. And now it's Navy Federal themselves. They purchase the debt back and say, okay, we're going to personally hire our attorneys to take her to court. Now, my second AMEX, American Express, some of these American Express, Discover, Navy Federal, they don't play, right? They do not play at all. And so this is another summons. I mean, I have been through it 2023, right? And then on top of 2022, I got diagnosed with cancer. So dealing with cancer, had some medical bills, it's true. And now I'll get another summons, coming back to back. Some of these, that's my name under my nail right there, where I'm trying to hide addresses for security purposes. And now it's going to court, defending myself. I am the defendant against these plaintiffs. And if you can see here, the amount of this one, the AMEX summons is $17,284, right? And that's the date that is filed, 2023. And so I have receipts. And so when people come or they ask me, and these are some of my own disputes that I've mailed certified return receipt that I mailed on my behalf, but I had to get an attorney assistance to help me with the summons from Navy Federal as well as AMEX. $17,000, $50,000, $143. I don't play games, and I don't not get the legal amount in those amounts because I could not file bankruptcy, right? These are some of my return receipts from even fighting the credit agencies. In fact, I have another court date. I am in the process of suing the credit agencies as well, Equifax, TransUnion, and Experian. If you all know that my first lawsuit against them, I was the plaintiff and not the defendant, and I didn't do well. I did not do well because I was accustomed to being the defendant, right? Here's another summons that I received. So I am not a stranger to the court. I'm not a stranger to fighting original creditors or make sure my address is not shown. This one, another one, right? There's the seal over there. So I'm not a stranger to this. And when people get summons from original creditors, Discover, AMEX, PenFed, Bank of America, either you answer those and you show up for court, or you're going to get a judgment against you by default. That means you're a no-show. And now I'm just going to freestyle. Sometimes people reach out to me because I've decided to help people that want to be helped to improve their credit. People that are tired of their money going to double-digit interest rates and having negative cash flow because you have a negative credit score. I believe a negative credit score is anything under 700 credit. You're not getting the offers of 0% interest up to a year or 18 months. You're paying 5 times more for a vehicle in most cases that's older and used than most people with good credit pay for new vehicles, right? You're not seeing the 0% interest rate opportunities or the 2 or 3%. You're paying 9, 10, 11, 12, 15, 18, 21, 22% interest rates. That's not the good credit lifestyle. That's eating up your paycheck and your cash flow, right? When all you have to do is make a mindset connection, a mental decision that I am going to get out of bad credit and stay out. When you have to pay thousands to debt collectors and thousands to original creditors, going to court, again, I've told you, I've been through a divorce and I've been through cancer. This still did not stop my summons. Family members have died. That still is not going to stop your summons. I've been to court and I've seen people in wheelchairs fighting cancer, frail. You can tell they are knocking on death door, but because they did not know their rights and they did not respond the same way, they still receive a judgment against them. It does not matter about your life condition. If you don't handle these summons from debt collectors or original creditors the correct way, again, Hosea, my people perish. It did not say people perish because they didn't have money. It did not say people perish because of their health habits that are unhealthy. It said people perish because of lack of knowledge. And when you don't want to invest in the knowledge that somebody else like myself have, I've been through the ranks. It was not easy. I had sleepless nights, sleepless weeks. I paid an attorney $1,500 just to compose a letter to respond to a summons against Navy Federal. So if I tell you, for you it's going to be $500, I paid 3 times as much as you did for this knowledge, for this experience. Believe you me, if you owe $10,000 or $5,000, paying $500 to eradicate that, that's the best return on your investment you can make. In fact, I may put the price back up to what I had to pay, $1,500, because people don't pay attention until they pay. As Grant Cardone say, people that pay attention. So if you want to work with me to help you free up thousands of dollars, and let me explain this as well. If you want me to consult you with credit and help you get negative items removed off of your credit report, just because Midland Funding, just because Franklin Financial, just because LNV Funding, Portfolio Recovery, is not showing on your credit report, does not mean, oh, it's not on my credit report anymore. Queen got to delete it for me. Now I have a summons and I don't have to show up for court. No. Your credit report is just your report card. Just like when you go to school and you get that piece of paper that's showing your academic progress or your academic letter grade, A, B, C, or D. This is just showing how you perform in that subject area. Just because you get these collections deleted off your credit report does not mean you can go to court and say, hey, this is not showing on my credit report anymore, so I don't owe this debt collector. No, your credit report is just your financial report card. In fact, you can have accounts deleted, like student loan accounts deleted, and you still owe that student loan. It's just not showing on your credit report. But that does not mean they don't have the right to pursue the debt from you legally in court. Debt collectors, Navy Federal, AMEX, when they summons you for court, Discover, whoever it may be, PenFed, Bank of America, US Platinum, they don't have to report it on your credit report to get a summons to collect from you and take you to court and receive a judgment to garnish you in their favor. Please understand that responding to summons and court cases is a whole different service that I provide than credit consulting, improving your credit score. FICO has nothing to do when you get summons to go to court. Nothing. Experience, TransUnion, Equifax. You going to court saying this does not show on my credit report, so this is not my debt, is not going to have you to win. And do not text me with the idea that I'm just going to give you the game for free. The game is to be sold, not to be told. You have not invested in me. I don't have to invest in you. Do not think I'm going to pay an attorney $1,500 and then quote you a $500 price, and you don't think that's fair. I had to pay for this. I have folders on top of folders on top of folders. I have more than this. I have stacks of paperwork on top of paperwork. When you get into the fight in six figures and thousands worth of debt, that is a lot of hard mental stress and hard work, and the courts do not play. And if you don't know the language of the courts and you don't have the letter of the law, you are going to lose. Oh, that was good. That was good. Let me say it again. If you don't know the language of the law, if you don't have the letters of the language of the law, you are going to lose. This is big money out here. And in most cases, you all know you created these accounts and you did not pay them. You know that was your debt. See, that wasn't my case. But I can still help you, even if it was yours, legally, to make sure the legal ramifications are followed. But you know that was your debt. You know when you get that AMEX, PenFed, Navy Federal, Discover summons, that you owe that credit card. Let me sit back and be silent. So go on court saying this is not my debt. No. You better do it the right way, in the legal way. Nathan Owens, do you help with debt collections? What do you mean? Do I help get them deleted off credit reports, or do I help write dispute letters in response to summons if you've been summoned by debt collector? Because the answer to both of those are yes. See, the way to legally dispute these is to ensure that the original creditor and the debt collectors, the original creditor has to follow the Fair Credit Building Act, and the debt collectors have to follow the Fair Debt Collections Practices Act. If they don't, it makes it illegal for them to collect from you, even if it's yours, right? So if you have a summons and you are serious about investing in hundreds to eradicate thousands, then text summons to 331-444-5556. If you want to text me to get free information, then you're not going to get it. It wasn't free for me, and I'm not going to make it free for you. You don't invest in me, I don't invest in you. Right? The Bible says you reap what you sow. You don't sow anything, you don't reap anything. And you're not going to waste my time. Either you want to invest hundreds to eradicate thousands, or you deal with it your way. Or you go to someone else and pay thousands. Because that's what this is worth. My years of experience, my receipts, my knowledge, me investing thousands. And guess what? I may. After this week, I may say, hey, no way I'm giving away this for $500. Because I know the value and I know it's worth. So that's it, you all. I'm signing out. Just wanted to bring you this quick live stream while my voice was much better, right? You all enjoy your Sunday. Again, text, don't call. Doing business hours, Monday through Friday. Please don't text me on the weekends. I don't do business on the weekend. It's my family day recreation and my faith, spiritual rebuilding and rejuvenation, right? Times. I don't do business on the weekend. All right, you all enjoy. Have a great rest of your day. I'm signing out. Queen out.